Hello and welcome back to Charmed Intentions. I am excited for today's spell because today we're doing a banishment spell, okay? This is to banish negative coworkers, banish any negative neighbors, negative energy, anywhere that you're getting energy that you essentially don't want. This spell can be used to just completely banish it and get it out of your life. We have a lot of symbolic elements here today that are really good and helpful, so it's definitely going to be a good one. I'm fired up. My Etsy shop is in the description. If you would like your own private tarot reading, a candle burn on my altar, or my personal custom spell work, that is where you can find me. And let's get into today's spell. So for today's spell, you will need some salt. Regular table salt is literally fine. That is what I'm using today. That is what I always use. I consecrate my salt, which is basically I just bless it before I open it to be used for magical intent and purposes. Salt in itself is so slept on. It's so freaking powerful. It takes, months, if not years to form, sometimes thousands of years, millions of years. Salt is amazing and so super, super powerful. We got some black pepper, same deal. You don't need any, special pepper and any special salt for this spell. Literally just use what you have. You're going to need some rosemary essential oil. If you do not have rosemary, you can use any other essential oil that you have that is in alignment with the purpose. You could also use spell oil. So if you have like a banishment oil that is created with a bunch of different elements, that's totally fine. Thyme is really good for some aggressive clearing. You could use that if you have that. But anything that you have that is, synonymous with the spell is okay. You're going to need 2 pieces of paper. We're going to be writing a double petition today. And then you will need a black candle. I'm using a 4-inch chime candle, but if you just have like a black tea light, that's literally fine. You can use that too. So once you have gathered your materials, let's say our opening evocation to open up this space, and that is just sacred space now come to be, blessed with light and energy. Magic stirs and flows through me. So mote it be, so mote it be. So first, let's write on these petitions. So one of them is going to be in the middle. That's going to be the person that we are, actually, you know what? I'm going to do it the opposite direction. The one in the middle is going to be for us. The one on the outside is going to be for who we're banishing. And honestly, either way is just fine. It's kind of like 2 sides of the same spectrum at that point. So if you feel more called to make the petition that is geared towards you and your protection outside versus inside, that's literally fine. But we're going to write one, to banish those away from us or the situation, or to, dismantle whatever is up against us. This can be programmed for a situation or a thing as well. It doesn't always have to be a person. If you're experiencing delays, say on your commute to work every morning, you're experiencing delays that are causing you from being able to get into work. This can be programmed for something like that too. Super, super customizable. But we're going to write one for, the thing we're going to banish, and we're going to write one to kind of, keep ourselves protected in all of this and unaffected. So let's start with writing the petition for us. So I'm going to say, now this is the time where you can, write down exactly what you want to happen. I'm going to keep mine open-ended per usual. So I'm going to say, I am safe and protected at all times. From all misfortune, negativity, negative people with ill intentions, bad coworkers and neighbors. I am surrounded by angels and completely safe now. Surrounded by protective angels, I'm going to say. Angels and fully safe now. All right, so that's the first petition. That is going to be the petition that is all about me. So that's the one we're going to have in the middle. And then next we're going to write our petition for who we're banishing, okay? And this is the time where you can go in. If you want this to be more baneful, literally write it more baneful. You know, we're already here. You might as well, you know, wrap up a curse up in there if you want to. That's totally fine, but I'm going to program mine for their banishment. So I'm going to say, any and every person who has come against me in any way, seen or unseen, is banished and defeated now. They can no longer hurt or affect me in any way. They are punished and completely destroyed. I'm going to put punished, outcasted, and completely destroyed. All right. So that is our second petition. Like I said, that's going to be hating from outside of the club. You'll see what I mean in a second. I'm going to put that over here and clear the altar because we're going to make a salt circle. Salt circles are really, really good for purification and for literally cleansing the energy from you, mind, body, and soul. If you've ever taken an Epsom salt bath, you already know what salt can do for the body and how it can absolutely relax your muscles. I'm talking if you have like the most crazy tear, most crazy muscle pain, you take a salt bath that night, by the morning you literally don't feel it. You're like, oh, I'm ready to go again. So if you know, you know, but salt is amazing, super powerful, ancient, protectant, spoken about in many different religious texts, a part of many different schools of belief and divination. We love salt. We love salt. So go ahead and make a salt circle around your petition. Like I said, salt is a really good protectant, but also cleanser. So this is literally going to pull that negative energy out of your aura, and that's why I wanted to put us in the beginning. Now, the second petition, you can literally put that wherever you want. We're going to dress this second petition. I should have brought something more baneful in here. I'm actually going to put the rosemary because rosemary is protectant on our petition. So go ahead and do that. Oh, you know what? I do have something in here. Mwahaha. So sorry, I did not include this in the intro, obviously, because it's just in this room. I didn't originally include it, but I'm going to put some chili oil on their petition to really spice it, zap, you know, let them know, like, you are not welcome here. So I'm going to put that on there. If you don't have any chili oil, honestly, if you have like even just chili powder, you can mix that in with some, you know, whatever carrier oil you have. So that could be like maybe some olive oil. Let that sit for 24 to 48, 72 if you have the time, hours, and then go ahead and complete the spell. Or if you have any like, you know, oils that have to do with baneful magic, go ahead and use those. You could even mix some, you know, a carrier oil, maybe some sunflower oil, and with, if you have any baneful herbs, if you have any baneful powders, and that you do not have to wait for it to soak up. Literally just mix it in, shake up the bottle, and then you can go ahead and use that. So sorry about that. That's kind of like a last minute addition, but I was just thinking like, you know what? I want to make this extra baneful. I do not want them to come back and give me problems. So saw that chili oil and I was like, oh my God, that's so perfect. All right, so we put that on them. We already have the pepper, so if pepper is literally all you have, that's also completely fine. We're going to transmute this petition later anyways. That'll add more power to our spell, so that's all good. I'm going to open this pepper. And then I'm going to sprinkle that on there. Oh, just so nasty. And this is exactly what they deserve, okay? Snap, crackle, pop, bitch. Bye, girl. So yes, go ahead. And then the last thing is just our candle. So we're going to light our black candle right on top of our petition. You can also add a little bit of the rosemary to that. I'm just going to let a drop of wax get on. A little witchy tip. Candle's not sticking. They're tilting over. Go ahead and take another candle. You can use that to light the bottom of this candle, or you can just tip it over like I did and let the wax of that candle drip straight onto the plate or the petition, whatever, and then you can stick that onto there, and as it hardens, it will keep it in place. So a little witch tip. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and light this, and then once this is lit, we're gonna speak our intention over ourselves. Then we're also gonna speak our intention over these people in our energy. Spirit guides, universe, the powers that be, please hear me. I call in your help to banish negative coworkers, negativity, negative neighbors, anyone that stands in my path, known or unknown. Those who hide in the shadows are exposed now, and anything that they've said against me, anything that they do against me, is returned to them tenfold. They are no longer allowed to affect me. They are completely destroyed now. Any ill will towards me is returned to the sender 100 times over. I am protected, I am safe, and those who have ever and will ever speak against me will receive instant negative karma, instant manifestation of those words directed right towards them. They are banished from my life, no longer allowed to affect me, and no longer allowed to return. I am safe, I am clear, I am happy, I am surrounded by protective angels and people who love me and support me. So once you say what you need to say, you can take this time to really go in depth with it, or you can leave it more open-ended. But once you say everything that you really need to say, we're going to go ahead and say our closing evocation. That's just going to let our guides know, all right, I said what I needed to say. You can go ahead and work your magic and take over from here. So that is just the gate closes, the spell is spun. My work is done, the magic won. With love and light, I set it free. So done it is, so mote it be. So once the candle is fully burned through, you're going to let that fully burn through. You can go ahead and transmute both of these petitions through fire. The one with the chili oil, you can, bury that if you want to, because if you can't do that safely, burn these through fire, it's totally fine to bury it. That does give you more long-lasting results. When you're burying, however, it does take a bit longer to really manifest, but at that point, you're working with pure earth energy, earth magic. If you've ever heard someone say, tell the trees what he did to you, tell the trees what she did to you, it is 100% factual. The trees will ride through with that earthly magic tenfold. Fairy energy, which are already very mischievous and quite baneful as well, will come through. They're close to that earth connection, so it's totally worth it if you have a little bit of time to go ahead and do that. And spirit can always bring in a miracle, so who knows, you could be the case that manifests literally overnight. They're like, oh, we got some BS here? Yeah, let's go ahead and handle that. So whatever way you want to do it, burning it through fire, transmuting it that way, or burying it, both methods are fine. It's just preference at that point. And we're all set here. So that is what I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed today's banishment spell. And my Etsy shop is in the description. If you would like your own private tarot reading, custom spell work, a candle burned on my altar, that is where you can find me. And that is what I got for you today. I'll talk to you soon. I'll see you in the next one. So mote it be.